Okay? So going back from the top, we say Al-Islam, it is the religion of submission. This is not the religion of peace. You obtain peace when you submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like you're supposed to, then you'll have peace of mind, you'll have peace in your household, you'll have peace in your family structure, you'll have peace with your kids, everything. If everybody submits like they're supposed to and do what they're supposed to, you'll have peace. But if you don't submit, ain't gonna be no peace. The peace is obtained through submission. So Al-Islam is a religion of submission. Okay? And we learn from chapter 5, verse 3, that Islam, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that He made Islam, or our way of life, our way of submission, it has been made complete and perfect by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We learned that this ayat, this verse, is revealed 80 days before the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam died. Also, we learned that to be a Muslim, it means one who submits to the will and commandment of Allah. Okay? Chapter 3, verse 1 or 2, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and do not die except as Muslim. You better not die. You better not present yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without submission underneath your belt. Okay? Because the only thing that you'll be able to take to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment is Islam and your submission. Where do we get this from? Chapter 3, verse 85, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with any other religion, any other deen, any other transaction, any other bargain from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it will never be accepted. Okay? In Surah Al-Fatiha, we make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Maliki yawmiddin. Right? He's the king, the master of the day of deen, the day of transaction, the day that we pay back our debts. Okay? And what do we pay back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We pay back our obedience and our submission. That's the only thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cares about. He don't care about nothing else. Your obedience and your submission. How were you in this life when it came to submitting and being obedient? We learned in chapter 61, verse 10 through 13, Allah says, shall I guide you that will lead you or save you from an excruciating punishment? He said, one, tu'minuna billahi wa rasulihi wa tujahiduna fi sabilillah. Believe in Allah, the Quran, believe in the message of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, meaning the Sunnah, and you strive in the cause of Allah, meaning you put your life on the line for this deen, right? You put it up front in front of everybody, right? Allah says, who is more better than he or she who is a da'i, a caller to the deen? It says, yeah, I'm of the Muslimin. Okay? So we stand strong in this deen, we put our life on the line, and we put our money on the line. We put our money where our mouth is. Then Allah says, this is thousands of the deen. Okay? Then we learn in chapter 4, verse 65, what is the way of a believer, the way of a Muslim? That when the Quran and the Sunnah, right, we do not believe unless we make the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam the judge in all that we do, right? Not only that, but once we find out what that judgment is, we have no other option, nor do we feel anything in our nafs, right? But we submit to it submissively. This is the way of a believer. Anything we find out, somebody tells you, man, Rasulullah sallallahu say this, submit, period. Okay? That's where we get this. Submit'ana wa ata'ana. We hear and we obey. Okay? Then we learn that Abraham, alayhi salam, and all the prophets were Muslim. Right? He said that he was Hanifa. Right? He was rightly guided. We learned that all the 12 tribes of Jacob, that when Jacob was on the deathbed, they all bore witness in one God, and they all said that they were the Muslimin. They all submitted to the commandment of Allah. Okay? This is the reality. Then we learned the opposite of submission, which is nifaq, right? Hypocrisy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that when you tell them to come to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, they say, oh man, they get a verse, they want to do something else. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in chapter 2, verse 13, and when you tell them, man, come follow what the Sahabas follow what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam followed, they say, what, should we follow like the fools? Man, that's crazy, I don't want to follow them, man. Allah said, no, they're the fools, but they know it not. Okay? Then in chapter 4, verse 150 to 152, Allah warns us that, man, if we do not want to do what Allah tells us to do, He will replace us with other people. That's a cold warning. Right? And Allah, it's easy for Him. Kun fair kun. One day we could be here, one day we could be over here. Right? So we better be appreciative that we're Muslim and do what we need to do so that Allah will keep us in His favor. Okay? Chapter 5, verse 54. Excuse me. Right, this one, He'll replace you, but this one here, Allah says that those who turn away from the dhikr of Allah, that you'll have a depressed, a difficult life. Okay? Mix them up. But chapter 4, verse 150, 152, Allah talks about those who turn away from the dhikr of Allah. Meaning you turn away from the Quran and the Sunnah, then you'll have a difficult and stressful life. Okay? Watch people around here. Let them turn away from the dhikr of Allah. Let them not follow what Allah says and just watch their life. Watch them. in chapter 20, verse 124 through 127. So all of these right here are warnings from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, okay, that if we're blind or we act blind or we act like we don't care in this life with regards to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to do, and on the day of judgment, then He'll make us blind, right? And remember, on the day of judgment, we want that light, because we're going to be passing over that sirat, we're going to pass over that bridge, right? So that bridge, remember, it's over the hellfire, right? And one of the ways to get light is what? Through the wudu and making salat and all this other stuff. That's how we make it over the bridge, right? And remember that bridge, it has hooks that's trying to take you down into the hellfire. So if I'm blind on the day of judgment, I can't even cross over the bridge. I'm blind. I won't even be able to move. And guess what? The hooks will get me. Guess where I'm going? Hellfire. Why? Because I'm blind. I can't even see. But what I want in the judgment, I want nur. I need nur. I need light to see. Right? So may Allah protect us from that, from being blind in this life, and being blind in the next life. And blessed to be those who see, in this life and submit, inshallah. Okay? Well, inshallah, today, the reason why we went over this is because, man, we have to learn our deen. And being raised in this society, we lived a certain way, or we maneuvered a certain way, or we did certain things. We had certain games that we played or whatnot, or we've been playing games all our life, and we're used to doing this. This is the norm for us. Okay? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that the Quran is a shifa. It's a healing, right? For any diseases that are in your heart. Whether it's the disease of the game, the disease of being cheated on, the disease of having a troubled childhood, whatever that disease may be. Stinking thinking, whatever it may be, didn't have a daddy around, didn't have mama around, what was the mama dysfunction, daddy was dysfunctional, whatever disease that you may have, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said the Quran is the shifa, it's a healing. But the prerequisite is that you got to submit. If you want it to heal you, if you don't try to put this in motion, if you don't allow these things to control your life, and you still hold on to the stinking thinking or the jahiliyyah or the things that you used to do before you became Muslim, it's not going to work. You cannot bring your things into this deen. You cannot bring your thinking into this deen. You can't bring your games that you used to play into this deen. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, do what He told you to do. Okay? I have a situation, how do I deal with it? Allah says this. Well, I know how we deal in this kafir life. I know how we deal with things out here, right? But we ain't kafirs no more. We ain't disbelievers no more. We ain't in the jahiliyyah no more. We're Muslim. So therefore, the blueprint, the guideline, the foundation of what a Muslim follows is what? The Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If a person ain't talking about Quran and Sunnah, man, it sounds like Chinese. I don't even know what you're talking about. It's not Quran and Sunnah. It don't mean nothing to me. It shouldn't mean nothing to you either. Okay? Because the only criterion that we use for evidence is what? Quran and Sunnah. What chapter and verse tells me so? Bonus question. What chapter and verse Allah says, if you have any dispute, take it back to Quran and Sunnah? What chapter and verse? Chapter 4, verse 59. Anything I say, you guys have the right to check me. Okay? Because I should be talking to you off the side of my neck. I should be knowing anything that I say, I should be able to back it.